Welcome to Udama Community Secondary School. No gates or perimeter fencing. All you have is these pillars bearing the name of the school, scarred by stagnant water. But the school is short of teachers. Even core members posted to the community tried to evade the discomfort that awaits them. These men are some of the brave-hearted core members enduring the absence of basic amenities. That's the water provided for them to drink. At least, it's not as bad as the water in the river, even though the villagers find it drinkable and it is quite a distance from the community. These core members remain in these conditions because of the love they have for their fatherland. This structure houses the core members, its wooden windows almost falling. A pile of corrugated sheets provide a covering when they need to use the toilet or shower.
We're very lucky to be posted to this very PPA, understand? But we have some challenges here. One is accessibility to the town. No electricity, understand? So we'll find it very difficult to, every morning we move to the Igwe's Palace to charge our phone, then we'll come back again, understand? So when it comes to teaching aspects, most of the workload falls under the auspices of the core members. We don't have a good water here. But they say that the one that we have is enough and is okay. And the villagers, they do drink from it. But we prefer water. And buying of water here, a bag, 250. Sachet water, a bag, 250. And you see that as a core member posted to this very place, in terms of spending, we'll spend more. And we need the government to help us and help this very community. Textbooks, I don't think any of the students have, understand? And most of the textbooks say are dated.
The community head is saddened by the community's perceived invisibility to the government.
I'm pleading with the government to stop the neglect of my people and my area. We are the terminal point between Anambra State and the north. From my community here to Kogi is less than 4 kilometers. I am pleading with the government to stop this neglect of my people. What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Another state.
For all the healthcare centers visited, the story is the same. In Oroma, the structure exists, but it is now much more than a health facility. In its stead, it serves as a kitchen, a barn for storing freshly harvested tubers of yam that have been sorted according to their sizes, and a place for drying clothes. The ceiling is tired, burdened by days of neglect, rain stringing a long trail of cobwebs. Mattresses and bed frames as well as other equipment are abandoned here. They are wasting away even as those who are in need of quality health care continue to suffer. Inadequate personnel is another issue facing the health center. The stream provides water for domestic use like washing and drinking. Very few persons visit the stream at midday. The evening is ripe. It is time to leave Oroma Akato, and getting to the other side of the river is by no means a task for the faint-hearted. This is because you have to hire a motorcycle that will convey you to the other communities, that too on the canoe. It is a prayer that the canoe does not fall or break under the weight of the motorcycles.
Now we are crossing from Anambra to devt. And this is supposed to be a kind of canal channel in the River Niger that connects River Niger down there to the. So we are crossing now. I think the most important thing about this community is that they are agrarians, they are fishermen, and there are no access to taking out their products. Both communities, no access to it.
For those who cannot afford the boat ride or wait for the next available canoe, a walk in the stream doesn't sound like such a bad idea. After all, it's an opportunity to cool off, enjoy nature, and forget the problems that they are currently grappling with. We are now on the terrific journey to another community, Odekbe. The community can only be accessed on a motorcycle through a dusty narrow path, all the while through farmlands. The rocky path becomes more narrow amid undulating plains, while we keep on inhaling the rising dust. From here, all we see are bushes, and we can imagine the risk that people of the communities around the route face daily. After more than 15 minutes on a journey that seemed to go on forever, we got to our destination.
You're welcome.
66-year-old Azubike Peter is the king-elect of the Igala-speaking community. He served in the political sphere a couple of times, making him more knowledgeable about his people.
We are really agriculturist people, agriculturists. We produce a lot of food here. We are highly disappointed because first, you see, if you don't have people in government house, how can you enjoy anything? Our children are here, you see them youths, nothing. Why? Because they don't have people in government house. Very bad. We don't have light. Drinking water is another problem here. The government sometimes dug boreholes. Out of them now, I don't think, maybe only one is working. So my people have to go to the river. When you get back here, then get into this place now, you will see lake. They drink from that lake. Or go to the Niger to fetch water, and you know what happens. A lot of this, in short, our position here is in a sorry state.
Odekbe community is in mourning. The atmosphere is pregnant with sadness. Think they're playing a game? With their marching wrappers tied around their waists, they're actually paying homage to a pregnant member of their peer group who died overnight. The husband of the deceased stares blankly, unsure of what tomorrow holds, his eyes tired from tears. The dreams and joys that come with expecting a baby have been cut short by a brief illness.
Something like 8 o'clock, the sickness come. Due to say we no get road, before I go arrange fiber, carry him to go hospital. On the way to Asaba, just dead. Just like that.
Faith was expecting a third child. But she now lies cold in death, 6 feet beneath and under the tarpaulin behind a parent's home. Faith is gone. Alas, the system failed her. She has become a casualty of a failed health system at Odekwe.
I was called yesterday that she was sick. Before I could know, I asked them to rush her. Before they get to Asaba, she gave up. I wish they attended to her early. She wouldn't have died. Because you can see you can imagine the distance. All the way from here to Asaba before you get to hospital. It's a painful thing. I don't think if there is any hospital here in this Odekwe that my sister will have died. It's because of there's no hospitality, nothing. In fact, if government can do something, this village as a whole, there's no hospital, no health care, nothing. It's just like that.
The fate of her 2 children, Adaobi and Chimwaya, now hangs in the balance. It's a 2-minute bike ride from Faith's home to the health center. We can only see the fading paint on the wall, an array of torn and dirty nets, as well as rusty locks on the doors. Faith's life could have been saved if she at least received preliminary care over here. Living life without the presence of electricity is something that indigenes of this community think about every day. Meant to provide electricity to the community, this transformer now sits under this rubble.
This is the project that we have now. This one now is that it's the lister that we have in Odekwe here, containing all of Odekwe. Now the lister now is not more good enough again. So we don't have light, nothing. We don't have anything again to show. So we are staying on the heat. We need government help now.
You see these street lights here? Can you see me? You see poles when you get out here. Now you see poles. How many years? It's over 15 years that thing was erected. Okay. You will see the other pole that is of metal something. It was the communal something that was done 1973. We have a powerhouse here. Dr. Oz was saying during the problem we have here that as it is 180 kV hence plant. The year we bought it was that was 1973 precisely. We had this pool. I was in secondary school then.
Oroma Etiti is another community in Anambra West local government. The sandy soil rises, turning into a dusty spectacle as people go about their businesses. The road project is begging for attention, and as the rainy season draws nearer, Oroma Etiti Indigenes fear what may be in store for them. The signpost of the community's Reproductive Referral Health Center, Oroma Etiti Anam, a UNFPA project, stands in a corner, meant to be a hub for the treatment of reproductive issues in the entire local government. It is operating below its capacity. Recording scanty activities daily, only one person is in fact in charge of this center.
Though it's not the fault of the local government, or neither the fault of the state government, but I don't know whether it's from the people that are supposed to take the statistics of health workers in the states, because maybe they have not reached to the people that are supposed to know that Anambra State's local government health workers are lacking manpower. A situation where here is a referral health center, at least by now, as we are here now, you are supposed to see at least up to 8-10 nurses running their shifts, and not one person. So it then becomes a situation where it seems like the person running this particular health facility now is now running it as a private business, which is not supposed to be.
Many things are not in place, and the center needs the magic wand of the government for it to perform optimally.
At least we need electrification. It's too important, though they are trying to do the work now. I've been trying to see if I can repair that solar. It took me, I've spent my salary more than 2 months for it, but I could not make it. At the time, we got a man who could come to analyze this place and say that with the only sum of 200,000, he can now put up, we're using the panels up here, and the battery we have, he can now stabilize this place to have 48 hours electricity that will cost me nothing, or cost this health facility nothing again. But I don't have how do I raise money, and how do I carry my files?
And what happens here when there is an emergency?
The first day, I was awake for the whole night. I heard a delivering. That delivering gave me tough time because there's no way a woman under such condition, you can carry her on barrow to take her to Miata. Yes, the ambulance keke they gave to us, it can't supply our road because it's 3-cycle. 3-cycle does not go in a very bad road. And for that reason, you can see that our 3-cycle at the road there. The day when they went out with it, it broke down. I have repaired it more than 4 times. We have to arrange for transportation to take that woman to that place. The money he charged them, say they must pay for the charter. You know, in these rural settings, such money may not come up. 16,000 naira to take a woman from here to that place. Please, does it not impose a serious barrier to the progress of the system? Having an ambulance, if possible, at least shuttle bus, is okay for this health facility. It is a referral health center, so that in such cases we can convey our clients outside this place to where it's supposed to be.
In the face of these challenges, Antonia is still making sure that this center remains open for the love of humanity. Electricity is a luxury that they have never enjoyed, even as their dreams of getting it from the national grid remains in the weeds, just like the poles and cables surrounding them. It is nighttime at oroma Anam, and darkness has fallen. Except for a few lights coming from vehicles, torches, and some of the solar-powered street lights, there is nothing exciting to look forward to. We are feeling the pain of the people, many of whom have never experienced what it is like to be connected to the national grid. Loud blaring sound of generating sets everywhere you go. This barber shop belongs to Chibueze Agum, who says this is the only way to go to getting his daily bread.
Nah, this thing no be small thing. For this light of a thing, I don't suffer. No leave me where the thing they pay pass. Because if I tell you stay at 225 every day while they buy food, they put for that smell and they capture that time and this thing like. I go buy food, I go buy here, join them together. How much why they buy the head for here? Nobody me. Many people, many things we're supposed to do for this community when I say like this. They yakpa. companies, many things, distribution something supposed to enter here. Because of the light when no day, road no good. May they give us road, give us light. May we be enjoying us and that people. If you look at this Anam, big people say this Anam no follow for Nigeria again, and nobody take us. So this light of a chain.
So you never see light for this place before?
Even this is the one I born, no only pole where they see and the wire.
Especially
Again, people say where they don't they put the wood, the pole now. After they put the wood, they put the wire. Tomorrow night, no go see the light. Now so they happen. Since when I was born, I never see light for a year. When they put light finish, put the pole finish, put the wire finish, no go see light. They go run another people. This one make about 5 people who don't work for this place. The way they can walk around as
It is an opportunity for some others to charge their phones. Small spaces like this exist in different corners, hoping to find customers to sell fuel to. It is also a scramble to find space to charge phones, torches, or other equipment in exchange for some cash. An interesting thing we found out here is that women take charge of security at the community gate. Once this rope is tied from one end to the other, vehicles and motorcycles will no longer be allowed entry into Oroma. Now this is Oroma Anam in Anambra West local government area of Anambra State, and very interesting thing caught my eye here in the community. We have women manning the security post. This is the security post for this community, and the women are all seated, 3 of them. They're seated right here. And I'm going to be asking them, why is it that women are manning or safeguarding the security of the community? Dalu? No. Nani?
When the security situation kept degenerating, we, the Umuada, daughters of the land, went into prayers, but then we realized that it is not what prayer alone can do. These motorcycle riders are in groups, disturbing and terrorizing the entire community. They also fight themselves. They are always with small knives and ready to stab their victims. They keep threatening to kill each other with guns in the name of cultism. Our men, husbands and fathers came to the rescue, but they couldn't do much. They are either knocked down or beaten up by our own children. Since our fathers couldn't handle the situation, we then decided to step in and let us see how they will kill and bury us, their mothers. The situation was so bad that some of us that live along the road don't sleep at night. We are not being paid to do this job. It is voluntary. We are doing this for the welfare and security of our community, and especially for the good of these our children. When we lock the gate, we are many that do the job. We have 8 clans, and each of the clans take turns to man the 3 gates of this community.
Another morning beckons, bringing with it another chapter in the lives of these Indigenes of Anambra West, as they carry their heavy hearts like heavy clouds in the sky, sapping today of its joy. They are waiting for a miracle that will lift them out of decades of neglect. They have their resources. All they need is the willpower from the government to activate the inherent potential in their farmlands. But that's all we can take on this episode of Community Forum. Don't forget you can watch this episode, previous subsequent episodes on our YouTube channel. You can also get in touch with us, invite us to your communities on the various platforms displayed on your screen. And thanks for watching. I am Sarah Yuku. I'll see you next time.